Hey, I'm back. This is Polly again. This is Patrick. We're going to paint Patrick, and he's pretty darn cute. He is my friend Sarah's roommate, and I think he has lived with her for a long time. So this is what our painting's going to look like. So we've got Patrick's head done. And we're going to put some darker colors in here later. I'm not even worried about it right now. First off, what I want to do is I want to get this bottom jaw in, and I took some alizarin crimson, cadmium red light, and a little bit of burnt umber, and I kind of mixed a little darker color. And all I'm going to do is, birds have those funny lower jaws. I'm just going to kind of paint it in. And it goes, and this is again dry brush. I'm just going to kind of pop it in. You want it darker than the bill that's on the top. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little water, give it a shiggle, give my brush a squeeze. I gave it a pretty good squeeze. It's clean. And I'm just going to pull, and I'm just going to lighten that top of the jaw. That looks good. So I just want, and then if I want, I can still just go a little bit darker right here. And you see, I don't scrub, I'll just lay it in like that, just so I have a little bit of contrast. That looks pretty good. So there's his lower jaw. Now you're going to see this happen. A lot of times when you're doing an animal, they don't look like much until you get the eyes in. And so I'm just going to take some straight black, and I'm pretty controlled. I don't have a lot of water in it. And I am just going to, and I'm going to leave, I call it the light of life. They always have like a sparkle in their eye, and that would be the white of the paper. So I'm just going to, I've got his eyeball right in the middle, and this is just pure black. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a couple little pieces of white in here. And if you can, and if you can't do it like this, then draw them in so that you kind of know where you've put them. Do you see how he's kind of starting to come to life? As soon as you get that eye in, I'm working with the number 3. Winsor Newton University grade nylon brush, which I love. And I'm just going to kind of get that eye in just so you kind of get excited. Then later on, when this dries, we'll do some white. He's got some wrinkles around his eye. And later on, when we bring some more dark on top of the head, we'll bring some dark around the eye too to make it pop. So there's your eye. And there's your lower jaw. So we got the lower jaw, and we've got the eye in here. Let's leave that alone. Now we're going to work pretty fast. I'm going to try to get his chest and his wing in. So what I did is I just mixed some sap green and I've got just some cadmium yellow light. Even if you have lemon yellow, any kind of yellow, you can use that. And really any kind of green. So I just have 2 piles here. So I'm going to switch over to a number 4. And I'm going to get his wing. I'm going to leave, this is a border. We're protected, remember? So I'm just going to quickly get our wing wet. Isn't it great having filthy, dirty water? Because then you can see where your color is. So I'm just going to do the wing. I kind of have it drawn in. I always like to use a border, and to me this branch is a protection because we don't have to do this right away because we're protected with that branch. I'm working really fast. We have a little bit of white one I want to try to leave here. Okay, first off I'm going to take that cadmium yellow light, or if you have lemon yellow, any kind of yellow, I don't care. Just get it on. Remember, with watercolor, you always start with your light colors first, and then you go to your darks. So we're just going to kind of pop it in. I'm working really fast before this thing dries. You could even do the whole thing yellow if you want to. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white up around his neck. It's kind of a messy up there. That's fine. And now I'm going to take that sap green, just good old sap green by itself. And it's okay if the sap green mixes with this because, again, they go together on the color wheel. They are friendly colors. Look at that. I'm going to try to leave a little bit of the yellow to show underneath. Now, if I put red with the green, we would get mud. But couldn't see right with this. So look at that. That is really fun. I'm just going to let some of this yellow show through. This is a little bit under his wing. And like I said, and the next, later on down in the lesson, we'll bring the darks on top of this and kind of fine tune it. That looks pretty good with that. I don't want to go too overboard. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to rock and roll. I'm going to hurry really fast, and I'm going to do his chest and his belly. I'm going to leave that alone right now. I'll show you later what we're going to do with that. Again, get it wet with your filthy, dirty, stinking water. If you want, you can change your water if this drives you insane. I know I drive my students crazy. Again, I'm going to get her wet. Remember, with your watercolor paper, don't freak out if it starts bubbling. That's normal. We're going to hit it with the hairdryer. And by the way, before I came back from the other lesson, I dried his head with the hairdryer and got it nice and tight. So again, go pretty fast. This is, remember, the cadmium yellow light. I just want to get it on. Looks really good. Okay, what next color we're going to do? Sap green. Underneath his belly is going to be a little bit darker. Whoa, that's dark. But I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to try to stay calm. I'll just freak out later and scream in private. Just kidding. Look at that. That's really fun. I think I'm going to leave that alone. Oh, but maybe I won't leave it alone, and I should, because while we're doing this, I might as well bring some of that darker green. I had more paint on here and less water. That's why the green's a little darker, and it was able to sit for a minute. And like I said, my paintings never look, when I demo, they never look exactly like what they did when I first did them. So if you can do this, and we're going to have a little gray that's going to come right here, which I'm going to show you later. So my paint seeped into this, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do this really quick. I'm going to take my napkin and just get rid of that. Just right there. I don't worry too much about that. I'm just going to leave that. That looks good, because we'll bring some brown on top of it. All right, I'll see you in the next class.